Hej! Idag är vi på Sydenham School. Det är en showcase-skola som vi har besökt idag. Och med mig har jag Mark Guest här som kommer att berätta lite grann om dels kodning generellt i Storbritannien men också hur de har jobbat med det här på skolan lokalt. So hi, welcome.
Hi.
Please tell me a little bit about the school we have been visiting today.
Okay, so Sydenham School is a Microsoft Showcase school in South East London. We're a girls' school. Goes from age 11 to 16, and we're in the Lewisham, borough of Lewisham in London. It's a school that is inclusive. It's a state secondary school. We take students from all over the southeast of London, and we're a specialist STEM school, so we've got a focus on science, technology, engineering and maths. And we achieved our best results ever last year. We're in the top 20% of schools in the country.
Okay, cool. So, who are Mark guests? I know that you are an MIE expert.
That's right.
Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about?
So, I've been a teacher now for 16 years, 17 years. I've been a teacher of ICT. I trained as an ICT teacher. And I've gradually worked my way up through subject leadership into sort of managing a large faculty, assistant head, and now a deputy head teacher. I've been at Sydenham School for 3 years, in my third year here, and my role really is leading on ICT strategy, leading on data, leading on curriculum and assessment.
Okay, that's cool. So I got a few questions for you. In Sweden, we are just now trying to incorporate ICT and coding in our curriculum, but you are a few years ahead of us. So please tell me a little bit about what are these new subjects aiming towards?
Okay, so computer science is actually the subject that I teach. As I said earlier, I trained as a teacher of ICT, so for us there was quite a big, significant change in moving from ICT, which is much more about teaching them how to use technology and be consumers of technology, to be producers of technology and to code. So there's been a big learning curve for myself and others as teachers to develop their own skills. As a school, we chose to use Python as our main language.
Okay.
So that's the language that we've been training ourselves in and developing. I think we now do GCSE computer science and A-level computer science is delivered through our consortium with a local boys' school, and it's really all about making sure that our girls, as I say, we're a girls' school, have got the very best opportunities to move into an industry that's underrepresented by women. There's lots of opportunities for women to get into the STEM industries and into computing and coding. And we want to make sure that our girls are given the right education to make sure they can take advantage of that.
Okay. Do you see other benefits from using coding in different subjects? For example, if you use coding in maths, does it spill over to another subject?
Definitely. I mean, it's the kind of problem-solving aspect of it. So the ability for our girls to really look at a problem, diagnose that problem, break it down into to sub-problems, and then to keep working at it, the sort of resilience aspect. We want them to not be afraid to fail, to see failure as a learning experience, and so I think it has very wide-ranging implications for them as people.
How has you been working within this school to enhance the capability of the teachers to use ICT in a normal way of teaching?
Okay, so we've spent quite a lot of money at the school over the last 3 years, really equipping the school with the latest technology. So the first thing we felt we needed to do was provide access to teachers so that they had the best that was available that they could use in lessons as they saw fit. We've then spent quite a lot of time doing professional development programs to make sure that staff know how those tools can be used in the classroom to maximum effect. It's then about getting teachers on board and getting teachers on board with that technology to make it work in the lessons all the time. So it's been used appropriately, it's fit for purpose, and it actually does impact on the girls' learning. Where it's not used very well would be where technology is just used for technology's sake, and we don't want to go down that route. We very much want it to be used in a purposeful way. So we've done a lot of work with teachers around pedagogy. We've asked every teacher to become a Microsoft Innovative Expert, so they've signed up to the Microsoft Educator community, completed courses on things like OneNote or Sway or whatever it is that they are interested in, and then to trial embedding that in lessons. We've got a number of teachers at the moment working on lesson studies where they research how particular aspects of technology impact upon learning.
Okay, great. Has there been any obstacles through this transformation for non-ICT school to the ICT schools?
Yeah, I think the main obstacle for us has been around teachers and engagement of teachers in that change. So we obviously have a range of teachers of different ages. We have teachers who've got a range of different levels of exposure to IT. Some of them are very advanced, know their stuff, and for them it's not a hard sell at all. They're already using technology in the classrooms, and it's just sort of honing that and making sure that they're using it in the most effective way. For other teachers sort of who've got much less experience of using technology, or perhaps slightly older members of staff, it's a little bit more difficult to get them on board and to explain to them the benefits that it can have. They'll have been teaching perhaps for 20 years, some of them, and will have been doing things in a very set out way, the way that they trained when they were doing their PGCEs. They'll be using exercise books, they'll be doing didactic teaching, and to get them to recognise that the 21st century learner needs something else, needs something more than that. The world that they're going to be going into is technology rich, is a place where if you're not using technology, then you're going to be behind all the students coming out of schools everywhere else. So you need to make sure that technology is part of their learning journey, that they're equipped with the tools so they can go into the world of work. So trying to convince them of that, trying to convince them of how it can impact upon learning and ultimately on exam results for them. I would say in terms of where we are now, that obstacle is still there. We haven't yet overcome that obstacle for a number of our colleagues, and that's something that we need to keep working on.
And to keep on inspiring other teachers to
Absolutely.
I know that a few hours ago we met some students who were making air guitars.
That's right. Yeah.
With the microbits.
That's right.
And they are presenting these constructions on the lecture tomorrow.
That's right.
Please tell me a little bit about these guitars. I know this wasn't a question that I
Sure.
That's one.
So there's a group of Year 9 computer scientists. They're aged 13 to 14. They've been doing the GCSE computer science since the beginning of the year. As part of that, they've been learning about Python and programming principles generally. And just before Christmas, actually, they started using the microbit as a physical device, really in order to enable them to see the outcome of their coding more quickly in a physical way. So instead of just programming on screen and seeing the results on the screen, they're actually seeing something physical happen. And we feel that has a real impact on their learning. So they've been programming the microbits. For instance, they did a rock, paper, scissors game that used the accelerometer sensor, so that you shake the device and either rock, paper or scissors appears on the screen, and they kind of play against themselves in that way. The air guitar is using two sensors, so it's using the accelerometer and it's using the light sensor, and they program the device so that if you move the device, so they've got the guitars, and if they kind of rock their guitars around, then the tempo of the music will change. If they cover the light sensor, which is in the middle of the LED panel, if they cover that light sensor, then the pitch changes. So you've got the tone changing, you've got the tempo of the music changing, and again, it's another way of getting them to program something, and then to see a physical reaction to what they've done.
Finally, do you have some kind of favorite of the 365 tool?
Yeah, personally mine is OneNote.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of OneNote. I use OneNote for all of my lessons. It allows me to do many things. So I share all the content that I want students to work on through the content library. So worksheets, videos, any content that I want to access is in the content library. And they can go back to that at any point. So for revision purposes, they've got access to basically the whole curriculum that they've been doing with me. Through Class Notebook, they've also got their own individual areas of OneNote, which they do all their work in. So in computer science, because they're programming, it's really easy for them to snip a bit of code that they've been working on.
So you're using the snipping tools as well?
Snipping tool, yeah. So they use that, they stick it into OneNote. They can annotate it, either inking or text typing. They add that into OneNote onto their pages. I can then, instead of carrying home a pile of books to mark, I just take home my Surface Pro. I've got my stylus. I can mark straight onto the device. And there's lots of really good tools they've released recently, like the Classmate toolbar in OneNote that allows me to very quickly mark work. So if they've all got the same name, if each of the pages have got the same name, then I can whiz through each student one after another, marking that page and moving on. And we have an assessment policy here which involves student feedback and use of DIRT time, which is what DIRT means. Dedicated improvement and reflection time. Dedicated improvement and reflection time. So they use that to then respond to the feedback that I've given them. So it might be that I've asked them a question, they then respond to the question. It might be that I've asked them to improve something in their code, and they can post another screenshot with the corrections that they've made. So it makes it a real dialogue between the teacher and the student. And I think the students that you saw earlier would say it's changed the way that computer science works for them. In the past, they used to print stuff out, use scissors and Pritt stick to cut it out and stick it in an exercise book, and it was all really long-winded, and it took away from the time that they could be actually programming. This means that it's a live process, and it works really well.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Nice to meet you. Thank you.